She always said, do this, this, and that before you make plans to bring a child into your life. And I felt like a failure.
Being a parent, especially being a single parent, it's the most selfless thing a person can be, because you're no longer looking out for yourself. You're looking out for somebody else.
I'm Pastor Kathy McDuffie. I'm Carla McDuffie's foster mother. Well, she didn't take me. I had an uneasiness, so when I get uneasy, I begin to fast. And I just prayed. And one day I was working night shift, and the Lord showed it to me. Believe it or not, a whole month went by. And she said, Mama, I got you a salad. I said, bring it. She came, and as soon as she got to the edge of the bed, and I said, now tell her, I said, come. I said, you pregnant.
Can you share your initial thoughts and feelings once you learned that you were going to be a mother?
I was scared. I was nervous. I don't know, just overwhelmed.
It was definitely a surprise. Like, I was thinking, like, at the time I lived with my parents, and I was like, we don't have any room for a baby at our house. Where's the baby gonna sleep? It was totally by surprise. Courtney Davis.
It was a shock because it's like, oh wow, it's actually happening. But ideally, I wasn't doing anything to prevent it, so it's like, okay, it's not really a shock, but it is. All right, well, my name is Cantal Gray. I have a son. His name is Elijah, and he is 2 years old. My mom, number one, she has been my hero. I remember when I initially told her, her outlook and what she said to me was completely different from how I imagined. I thought she would be disappointed in me because I wasn't married. All she did was comfort me and encourage me and told me that we would get through this together.
When I found out that I was gonna have a baby, I think I was like 21, between 20 and 21. It was 2006 when I had her. I was in college. I think I was going to Hines at the time. But I was working too. So I was working at the health department at the time that I was pregnant. I was going to school for psychology. Eventually, I stopped. So I have my bachelor's degree from Belhaven University. Now I'm pursuing my master's degree, and I'll be graduating in December.
So I did undergrad at Jackson State, finished graduate school at Belhaven University, and my major was healthcare administration. Currently, I am a business process analyst for MDHS.
So when I first graduated, I went to Mississippi University for Women. I went there for a year, and then I stopped going. And then just recently, I graduated from Martinsburg College, and I got my human resource certificate. And then now I currently work in human resources.
So when did you learn that you were going to be a single parent?
Really, initially, when I found out I was pregnant, I just kind of had that ideal in my mind that I could possibly be doing this alone. So initially.
What were some of the difficulties that you faced while raising her at the time?
I had got second job just to make sure that her needs was met.
My phrase to her always was that it won't be like that always. When she would go through it, it won't be like that always.
And that's something that even throughout the years, that's something I regret, because you lose time. Those moments where she probably really needed me there. I had my parents, I had my sister, I had my brother to be there for me, but she needed her mama. And because I had to work to provide for her, I lost that time with her. Even with going to school, I did go back to school later on, like I said in the beginning. But even when trying to better myself, I still lost that time with her. us moving and trying to buy a house. I did all that stuff without a spouse. So I had to take up other jobs while going to school to better myself. So I say time.
Any time that I spend with my child, I feel like it's the best time of my life. So if I didn't have to come here, work every day, I would be spending time with my child. I feel like it put a drive in me, but the biggest sacrifice I had to make was coming out of my comfort zone because I had to do more, I had to step up more and decide I had to do X, Y, Z to make a better life for me and my son. And think about, what it would look like to do this alone.
What were some of the emotions like when you first found out like that you had lost her father?
I take it back. His mother called me, and she was hysterical when she ran up to the door. I was crying and hollering.
I was scared. I was hurt. It came like anything out of nowhere. It wasn't anything that I anticipated happening. So he passed. He died September 21st, 2008.
What were some of the things that you were telling Blessings, I guess, at the time?
So she was not yet 2 or going on 2, because her birthday's in November. So she didn't really, the concept of him not being there, she didn't really understand that. But eventually, she was saying, "Where's my daddy?" and all that. So I had a moment where I had to tell her, or just say that, he's up in heaven right now. And there was times that she said, "Well, can I go up there to heaven with him?" No, you can't. Eventually, as she grew older, that's when she was realizing that, hey, he's not coming back.
I had him in 2014 in June. And in October of 2020, my son's father was murdered. But my son's name is Jace Nason, and his dad's name was Jeffrey Nason. And he was shot one Friday night while driving. When he made it to the hospital, they rushed him to surgery, and he never made it out of surgery.
Is there anything that you would say to somebody that was like, that's going through a similar situation like that, or that has lost someone as significant as him?
As a mother, losing someone like my husband, we can't stay in our hurt, because guess what? The bills got to get paid. Things have to be done. You have your daughter, you have your children or your child to take care of. And that's one thing that I wish I had more of. I had my parents, they supported me, but at the end of the day, I had to go home. So it was thoughts and things that I was dealing with it myself. They can have empathy. They can empathize with me, but they didn't understand what I was going through. So to have a good support system, even people that have gone through things like that, to know that they're not alone, that every day it's gonna be a struggle. But even through your struggles, it's gonna get a little bit better.
I felt what she felt just by her telling me. And she said, "Mom," I said, "Come." I told her, I said, "It's gonna be all right. We can work through this." I said, "This is what family do."
But the one thing I would tell myself if I could go back is just to slow down. Everything doesn't have to be at a certain point. I always say I wanted to be married at 25, start a family, and have kids before I'm 30. And now, knowing what I know now, none of that means anything. Things are happening when they're supposed to happen.
It is stereotypes in being a single mom, but I say keep going. Find people that you can trust, that the weight is not always on you, because there are people that you feel like you can trust. And I say go for it.
Like, don't ever let nobody tell you no. Like, even though I'm a single parent, I let nobody tell me no. Like, I feel like I can conquer the world with me and my son. We gonna conquer the world together.
As a Black woman, how important or pivotal was it for you to get to the point that you are now in your career?
Success can look many ways. I value the most being able to do something that's meaningful. I like having the opportunity to make good changes and be a part of something bigger. So I serve people of Mississippi, and to me, that's my drive. That's what I look at as success.
It is really important. I think it was more of me trying to prove it to myself that I could do it. When I got my bachelor's degree, I wanted my girls to see that mama did it. That was for them. It really was.
Looking back, what are you most proud of in your journey as like a single mother pursuing her career? What are you most proud of about that?
That I didn't give up. That I didn't look at my circumstance and was like, I can't do it. That I had the gall to even ask for help. Because it's hard. It's really hard to ask for help, especially when the world is looking at you or society is looking at you as a single mom.
The main motivation why I keep going and why I go so hard is because of my son. I want to be an example for him. I want him to see what a successful person looks like. So I try to mirror that for him.
I would say that if I can leave anything to anyone, to any single mom, even single fathers out there, you know, this is where you are. This is just the moment that you are. This is not the rest of you. So we're always growing. You're always learning. I'm always trying to develop myself. I'm always trying to do better, be better. Not just for myself, but for my kids. So that's it.